What does a minor league baseball player, $30 million, and an iceberg have to do with each other? Well, we're about to find out, because it's episode 467, and it's my movie choice, 1985's Brewster Millions. Welcome, everybody, to the Generation X-Wing podcast, a modern look at our retro lifestyle. I'm Steve HoseNose Lewis, and I'm here with your... Nope.
I'm just here at all.
This is like an actor calling cut.
It is so good. It is so good.
Shit.
Welcome, everybody, to the Generation X-Wing podcast, a modern look at our retro lifestyle. I'm Steve HoseNose Lewis, and I'll be your host tonight as we're talking about my movie selection, 1985's Brewster's Millions. And as always, I'm here with...
Jamie Pale Rider.
And...
Steve 3.
And least but not last but not least...
Oh, best intro ever. Rob Williams.
Slip or not?
Least on the list. Least on the list.
Welcome, gentlemen. It's good to see y'all.
Well, some of
yeah,
us,
good to see you too.
Yeah.
Love it.
I don't know why you don't
And
like going
last.
live, Hosenose.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Oh,
No,
because
no.
I am smooth. I am smooth like silk, my friends.
It's great.
Yeah, so I'll just draw attention. I'm wearing my Edmonton Oilers bandwagon hat
I'm
tonight.
trying to ignore that. I'm wearing my Winnipeg's Jets hat.
Well, Rob,
Anyway,
you just
yeah.
look like a doofus. Winnipeg lost like months ago.
Boy, good being a friend of yours must be great. What have you done for me lately?
Hey,
So
you're
our
criticizing
our
Hosenos'
listeners-
hat.
We're recording this the night of Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final.
Oh,
See
we
if the
have to
Oilers
talk
can-
about this.
Make a comeback. And that's it for sports ball. So
Yeah, well, until we move on to the movie.
Yeah.
till we move on to the movie. That's right.
Speaking of sports
Yeah.
ball,
Brewster's
That's it,
Millions.
Let me continue about this baseball movie.
Get to sit in the front seat because
It's
you're
not,
good at sports.
it's not puck ball. It's around, I don't know. All right, gents, let's just dive right into it. Have you guys seen this before? Jamie?
no. I was aware of it back in the day, but I never did get around to seeing it. So this was my first watch.
Interesting. And Mr. 3?
Yeah, I have watched it. I've watched it
Okay.
numerous times in the past. I was a big fan of Richard Pryor in this age of his movies, and I watched it many times.
Great. And Rob?
I must have seen bits and pieces of this movie, but never in its entirety. But when I was watching it, I was like, I recognize this. I've seen this before. So
Mhm.
probably in like passing or so.
The cover. I can see the VHS
Yeah.
cover in the
Yeah.
video store.
Yeah,
It's
Totally.
so
Great cover.
It is. It's great.
Yeah, and I think this is one of these ones that I think I saw for the first time at like a friend's birthday party on VHS. And then I think it's one of these ones also that's like was on TV a lot on like Super Channel and
Maybe
And the
that's where I
reruns.
saw it. Yeah.
yeah. All right. Well, let's get into some stats. Directed by Walter Hill. He is actually a pretty well-known name in the movie biz. He's directed other movies that you may have heard of, such as The Warriors.
Oh, Warriors! Really? I didn't know that.
coming out to play.
And he was one of the screenwriters. So he's done a lot of writing, directing, and producing. He directed and wrote 48 Hours with Eddie Murphy and Nick Nolte.
Oh, nice.
Red Heat, another 80s classic with
Mhm.
Arnold and Belushi, Jim Belushi.
I don't know if I'd call that one a classic.
Oh, I was waiting for. I see Jamie straining to swallow his drink, and he's like, I don't know about that. I'm not sure
So-
if that's classic.
That was one of the few Schwarzenegger movies that I had not seen. So I watched
Yeah.
it recently, and I have to say it's one of his weaker ones. And John
Weaker than
Belushi doesn't
Jingle All the
help, let's
way,
be
or
honest.
Jim Belushi. The
Jim
lesser
Belushi,
Belushis.
sorry. Yeah. Yeah, the lesser Belushi for sure. He definitely doesn't help things. But yeah, it's not his strongest movie. I mean, the bar's pretty high. It's Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, I think Steve had a good point with Jingle All the Way, though.
yeah,
I like
was
Jingle
it
All the
worse
Way.
than Jingle All the Way?
Yes.
Don't you be
Oh.
besmirching the good name of Jingle All the Way?
Oh, I like Jingle All the Way. It's great.
That's not what you said before.
What are you talking about? That was my pick for movie night around Christmas.
Anyway, okay. And Steve 3, he I don't know if you know, he also co-wrote Aliens.
Walter Hill?
Wow,
Yeah.
this is
Oh.
just like a wide range of stuff here.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
Guy knows what he's doing, eh?
He's got some
Yeah.
chops. This was written by George Bar McCutcheon, which you've probably never heard of because he died in 1928.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I don't
it's
know
a-
if
I'll come
anybody
back to
died
that.
before.
Right.
So this
Yeah,
is like
yeah.
an old tale of
Yeah.
of
Also
testing.
written by Herschel Weingrod. He did Trading Places, Twins, Kindergarten Cop, Space
Ooh.
Jam, and the other writer credited was Timothy Harris, who must have been like his writing partner
It
because he
definitely
did
had
all
the
the
feel of
same
all those
writers.
movies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
movie reminded me a lot of Trading Places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a question for you, HoseNose. Is this movie a remake? Because when I was on Tubi, I was looking for Brewster's Millions, and it was like this 40s, 50s movie that came up or something.
1945.
Yeah.
Good question, Rob Williams. And let me answer you with this. Well, the book was written in 1902 by
Right.
McCutcheon. It was the same plot. Young guy, Monty Brewster, but it was $1 million. He either got from his grandfather, and his deceased uncle leaves him 7 million, but basically under the same stipulations that he's got to like spend it and have nothing to his name at the end of it. And I counted. This has been remade 15 times worldwide.
Holy shit.
So that's including some.
The stories being remade, or this
Yeah,
movie?
like the movie, like in the some form of that. So like, first one was 1914, directed by Cecil DeMille.
Oh, Cecil
And then-
DeMille.
Yeah, and then the 40s. There's some Bollywood versions, and the most recent was in 2024 when they did Brewster's Millions Christmas.
Oh,
Really?
okay. I wasn't hallucinating when I
Yeah,
saw
no,
that.
that's and apparently that I have not watched it.
Sounds
But
like a
apparently-
Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas movie, and it's the sequel to what we just watched. So it's like his Monty Brewster's granddaughter or something like that.
So he sets the granddaughter up to the same challenge.
something like that. Yeah.
So
So
this is so weird. It's a
After-
great storyline. The story is a great what if. What would you do if?
yeah.
Did you find it while you were watching the movie, for those that hadn't watched it before? Did you find did you watch it with anyone and have that conversation? Oh man, you know what I would do? You know what I would do? Because you're thinking of ways of spending a vast amount of money, and it kind of
Totally.
Like
I would buy a friend to sit
value
and watch
show.
it with me.
So Amy and I were watching it, and she was doing that, and I had to like, all right, enough. I can't hear
yeah.
the movie. I'm trying to
But
take
it
notes.
incites that, right?
It was a
incites
lot of fun. So I was gonna ask you guys, what were some of the things that you came up with?
I had one page for the movie and one page for the notes of what I would do, and I had questions and all this sort of stuff. It's weird, but I don't
give me
know.
one.
Well, it's just for the first thing I wrote down is get less people involved. He had way too many people involved, but less.
That's how he's spending the money, though.
Yeah, you have to pay wages.
Yeah, but it's all the next thing I says. You pay high for less. It's just why hire all these people a little bit of money when you can hire one person for a lot of money?
Because you're not allowed to go over. Can't go too unreasonable with the wages.
Yeah, you still
What
have
is
to have
stipulation?
value.
In today's age, what is unreasonable anymore? When
Yeah.
people are paying $1 million a night for a room. I mean, nothing's unreasonable in today's age. People are paying $1 million for a Pokemon card. Nothing is unreasonable.
But they had to give you service that was worthy of the wage you were giving them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That was part of
that's
stipulation.
and again, that is
bought that
something
stamp.
that is very what I can't find the right word, but that is up for interpretation.
Mhm.
Nobody else but this person can provide the service I'm looking for.
Okay.
It's just so you
I don't
can have
think
that.
it didn't have to be nobody else.
Let's
No,
come
it's
back to
answering
this.
it's answering Steve
Diving
Three's
right into
concern.
right into the movie. Jamie, what was one? Give me one.
Wait,
thing you would do.
before this, I have an accidental fun fact.
Oh yeah.
So I told Christina I was watching this movie, so she immediately Googled it because she didn't know what it was, and she's like, "Did you know the 1945 version was banned in Tennessee?"
Ooh.
I did not know that.
That's a weird thing. Why? And she's like, "For social equality."
In Tennessee?
Yes.
Does that exist in Tennessee? Wow.
Goddamn
Yeah.
communism.
That's bizarre.
Oh, I don't think they were worried about the communists in Tennessee, Robert.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Give me one. Give me one thing you would do to spend some of the money.
Oh, this was hard. This was really difficult because, like, everything I would want to do, it would end up with me owning something of value, and that was like one of the key stipulations, right?
Can't own anything. Just a
Yeah,
shirt on your back. You came with it.
exactly. So, like, oh, I'd buy a sports team, and like, nope. Then you own the team. It's worth something.
Mhm.
Yeah, come back to me because I
Right.
had a really hard time with this.
3.
I would purchase all the very expensive Star Wars collectibles in the world, and I would donate them to Rancho Obi-Wan so everyone could enjoy them. That way I wouldn't owe them.
What isn't that part of the stipulation though? Is that you can only donate so much?
That's what I was
Ah.
trying to figure out.
So I had a similar vein of thought,
Me
and I
too.
came up with a loophole for that because being a museum professional, I was going to go buy a bunch of archives, not
Art.
archives, art and artifacts and whatever
Mhm.
around the world, crazy expensive stuff, and then I would donate them. No, I wouldn't donate them. I would sell them to that museum or that nation or whoever for $1.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. I've sold it. I don't own it.
Oh.
I've sold it, and I'm only selling it for $1. So then I'll take everybody out.
You're
for,
not getting screwed by the
Done.
donation.
Well, I'll do that. I'll do that then.
See,
Yeah,
that's what I was trying.
I
I was
like
in
that.
your head when I was watching this movie because I was like, I was thinking of the museum, and I was
Mhm.
thinking what Steve was saying, like buy something that I would like, but somehow donate it. But how do I donate it because I'm only allowed a certain percent? But that's a great thing. I'm glad you mentioned that because I was very confused with the whole rules of this. There were certain things that he was doing, and there are certain things that I was like, is he allowed to do that? Why is he buying a team? He can't own that. But then obviously
He rented the team.
Renting's a lot. Oh, didn't even think about renting.
See, he was
Renting's a good
renting.
idea. Yeah.
He rented the team to play the Yankees.
That makes more sense. Yeah, because I was so confused by the rules, but that's a great thing there. I needed clarification on the rules before I could even.
You know
go
what
any
else I
further.
think then in that case I would do, unless you're ready, Jamie.
No.
I would buy all the really rare. Well, actually, no, you're not allowed to do that. I couldn't do that. I was going to say I would buy a lot of really expensive plants, and then just to my own neglect of not being able to keep anything alive, they would wither away and they wouldn't be mine anymore. But you're not allowed to destroy anything. That was the other stipulation. You can't destroy it.
But are you destroying it? Or is it naturally dying?
Well, that's the thing, Rob.
Mm.
Is my neglect destroying it, or is it
Yeah.
just a natural thing that
I mean,
happens
Is it
on my balcony
conscious
every year?
neglect? Like, are you neglecting it on purpose, or are you trying to take care of it and it dies anyways?
No plant, unless it's a succulent, seems to survive in my life. So yeah, I try.
Lord, I try.
Yeah.
By a palm tree up here in the north, it's going to be harder to keep alive.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so we'll come back to you, Jamie. Got some time to think. I'm going to give a quick synopsis for our listeners who have not seen this, but I think you kind of probably pieced together what the movie's about. Monty Brewster, he's a failing minor league baseball pitcher for the New Jersey Hackensack Bulls.
Great
He
name.
suddenly finds himself inheriting $30 million from a recently deceased great uncle. Brewster's offered a proposition, if you would, via a movie of his great dead uncle, let him know that he can spend $30 million, but he's got to do it in 30 days. And if he does, he'll inherit a much larger sum of $300 million. But of course, there's the catch. He can't tell anybody about it. He can't have any assets or money to his name at the end of the 30 days. A bunch of other kind of rules that we're going to try and figure out. Of course, Monty accepts the offer. All his friends think he's nuts. A lot of shenanigans happen through the movie. And in the very dying seconds, he's able to pull it off and spend the last $2,000. No, $20,000.
$20,000.
And walks away with the $1 million.
I like that he was offered $1 million cash.
Yeah.
Just to walk
take
out.
it and walk.
Yeah.
The wimp
The
clause.
wimp clause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was great.
Other quick facts. Richard Pryor, of course, stars in Monty Brewster. John Candy, late great, as
So
Spike
good.
Nolan. Lynette McKee is Angela Drake, the paralegal. Stephen Collins as Warren Cox, the uptight boyfriend who screws over Brewster towards the end. And you'll know him from TV shows like Seventh Heaven and his original
Yeah.
Star Trek.
Mm.
And
He's got a bad history,
I was
doesn't
going
he?
to say, you probably won't see him in anything ever again because
Yeah.
he's got some bad sexual misconduct things
Mhm.
on the thing. So enough about
He has
him.
those secret sex lips.
I'm glad he got punched in the nose.
I dislike. They did a good job of portraying a character that you dislike. I dislike this turd as soon as he walked on the screen.
Oh, he's the typical 80s prim and proper
He's the preppy guy.
preppy.
Well, I love how
Yeah.
he's a preppy guy, but he's a lawyer. But his secret dream is to be an interior decorator.
Yeah,
And he's really good at it, apparently.
yeah.
There's some awesome supporting actors in this. So Hume Croyne was the great uncle,
Mhm.
and he's the reason why.
Batteries
picked
not
this.
included.
Yeah, exactly. I
Yeah.
saw that, and as soon as I saw him, I'm
He's
like,
so
that's
good.
the guy from Brewster's Millions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jerry Orbach. is
Jerry
the manager.
Orbach. I was so
Awesome
happy to see him.
Yeah.
Pat Hingle. He's been in other things.
Batman. He's Commissioner Gordon.
Yep,
Gordon,
Commissioner
yeah.
Gordon.
He's great.
He's been in other things.
You might have seen them.
Yeah. He's done movies and such.
Yakov Smirnoff. Talk about being
Oh, God.
topical for the 80s.
Yeah.
In Mother Russia, the cab drive you.
Yeah.
And I would think my favorite cameo of the movie was Rick Moranis
He
coming in as
Yeah.
Morty King,
Morty
Holy
King.
cow.
What was he? The king of mimic.
the king of mimics.
He would just
I was
stand there.
so excited to see Rick Moranis until he started talking. I'm like, oh, this is absolutely his worst role
Yeah.
ever.
This is
But
absolutely
it's
his
so
worst
him.
role
He
ever.
was so good
oh
at
my
it.
god.
He's not going to be
He's
in there
so
for
good at
long,
it.
is he?
He was so good at it.
Yeah, it was so awesome. Budget 15 million. How much do you think this guy's made?
Oh,
Not looking.
70 million.
70 million.
Sorry,
All right.
15 million was the budget.
Yep.
I say 60 million.
Okay, this is worldwide. 3
80.
80. You're all over. Wah, 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 wah.
Oh.
Gross worldwide 45 million. So a profit of 30
30.
million.
30.8.
Coincidence?
Oh,
Or conspiracy.
Look at that math.
I'm
Ooh,
gonna take my tinfoil hat off now.
Technically, it was 30.8 million.
That's true.
Shut up, Poindexter.
I gotta round things. All right, so let's just dive back into it. Jamie,
Okay,
got a way
so-
to spend money yet?
No.
No.
No, I'd be
Okay,
hosed.
I got another one.
Yeah.
one. I would manufacture and sell all the rocket fuel needed to do space launches,
Ooh.
and I would only have and they would burn it all out, and I'd have nothing left. And that way, it would be put to good use. It wouldn't be wasted. I wouldn't destroy it. It would just be burnt. So I would give them all the fuel they
Yeah.
needed to launch into space. That would
What they gotta
probably go
launch?
through 30 million coin.
oh my
coin count.
gosh. It'll get him halfway up. So
Phrasing?
when I was watching this, and I was thinking a Banksy, because I was remembering that famous Banksy portrait that sold at an auction, and it
The one that's self-shredded?
self-shredded.
Yeah.
Now I was thinking, this thing destroys
love it.
itself. It's meant to be destroyed. It's meant to be disappear, like much of his work. And that, for some reason, I had Banksy in my head. I'll buy a Banksy, and you buy it, it's not worth anything because he makes sure it's not worth anything in the end.
Are you allowed to know when buying it that it's
Destroys itself.
self-destroying?
Well,
But isn't that the nature of it? I mean,
that would be the
food,
same for my fuel.
we buy
Yeah.
food and it decomposes. So
Yeah,
yeah,
food's
buy
the
this
easy one.
fuel, it
Yeah.
burns up. That's what
Yeah.
it's purpose for. Banksy art is meant to be eventually
Well, that one was.
non-permanent. A lot
So
of it.
I had-
What if you? How about you pay Banksy to do an amazing art piece for you? It will cost you a ton of money, a one-off, and you get him to do it. You rent an area that he can do it in where he doesn't get arrested, and you spend all this money on it happening, and then you feel so bad afterwards that you have to pay for the graffiti people to destroy it and get rid of it.
No,
Come
but
and
that,
feed over it.
I'm hiring somebody to destroy it. That would not make sense.
But
It would
no,
be
you're cleaning
on-
up the city. You're not destroying it.
Yeah.
It's a public work. it becomes a public work where I have no ownership over it.
What if it's
So-
on private property?
Then that guy apparently gets. That's the challenge of it, right? Graffiti. I mean, this is why this was such a great little thought. We call it a not a thought process.
Experiment.
Thought experiment. It was
experiment.
so cool to kind of figure out how would you spend this. It's a lot more challenging than you think. But I think since the time this movie came out, there's a lot more loopholes to work around, and I'm very curious to see whether people had whether people's ideas for this is, because there's got to be at least one way you can spend all 30 million within an hour. And nowadays, obviously with the money that we spend on a lot of things has changed, but I mean, even then, I think that there are some smart people who would know how to do it within an hour.
Back then, though, $1 million a day for 30 days,
that's hard to do.
Quite hard.
Yeah. So one other idea I had was playing off this whole baseball thing that I was doing. So having not just one game in every city with every major league ball team, right? So then you're renting those venues and then also you're buying the tickets and it's a freebie. So you give it all the tickets for everybody to come see it.
And the travel costs,
everything else.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the night after the game, however many innings you play, you hire like the Stones or somebody massive to perform a free live concert. So think about that. You get like some massive band like the Rolling Stones or whoever. You're paying them and all their roadies and everything else. You're going to blow a crap ton of money.
Yeah.
A conch is a great idea because you're paying someone for a service that you can't consume. You just listen to.
You get value out of it, but you have nothing at the end of it other than memories.
Yeah.
And if you invite loads of people, then I don't know. Yeah. Why don't you just bring the bands to your back garden and people can listen over the fence?
That was the one thing I was concerned about. Was like, and it's like nitpicking or whatever, but so don't take this too seriously. But like him buying lunch for everyone on the street, isn't that like technically a donation? Like he's giving something away.
I couldn't figure out that rule because he mentioned on the rules, so you don't want to buy that diamond for that one person, right? And it's just like, so what was the gift rule again? Like,
there was something where he said you could only donate 5%. You could only give gift things like you can only bet a certain amount. It was like 5% or something. Like that.
The betting thing was quite funny.
Yeah. And the bookie comes in, he's all pissed off.
Yeah.
But like, what was the rule for the gift thing? Because I thought there had to be a certain percent. You couldn't just gift it, but he was, like you said, he was gifting everybody free lunches all over the place.
Yeah,
but he bought all that wine and then they drank it in celebration of him buying the wine, which was quite cheap.
So that you're buying a consumable, even if you're buying dinner for whoever, how many, it's still consumable versus like, instead of just saying, I'm going to give $5 million to the SPCA.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the easy out there.
And that was the hardest thing for me. I would have just, it's so easy to donate this and like, oh, I want to buy a new machine for a hospital. Let's do that. Well, no, that's a donation. So
but let's not forget
to the hospital.
The key thing of it, the challenge, was that he wanted to do to him what his father had done to him, which with the cigars. He wanted him to hate spending money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why it's such a good movie.
Well,
is that you actually turn someone into hating spending money.
It's good if it works. Sorry.
No, I just lost it. So go on. Jamie, know how to spend money yet?
Nope.
Okay.
Hire me, Jamie. Hire me for doing something. What would you hire me to do?
Well, I mean, and nothing.
Hire me to do the
hasn't
podcast.
Been done already. Like hiring people is the easy one. Buying food, super easy. HoseNose, I like your idea of, or Steve 3. Sorry if it was yours, I can't remember. Buying something and then selling it to someone for $1.
Oh, that was Steve.
So it's not donated. Like that's such a great loophole. Like that's the winner. I can't think of anything better than that.
I think for me, what would be the most challenging thing about this is not being able to tell anyone.
Yeah, I like that stipulation. That was
that
fun.
came across in the movie where like what's her name, Angela, or I forget her name. yeah, Angela is like, what are you doing? You're such a jerk, right? And you're spending all this money, and people are starving, and John Candy's losing his mind. Like, what are you doing? I just made you $10 million, and you're
I
pissed
like
off
that
at
John
me.
Candy hired like an investment guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that was that's why there was the first thing I wrote was don't tell anybody, because the minute you start, if I had told you guys if I had told you guys I inherited 30 million, told you about the 30 million, but not tell you about why, and you saw me spending this shit, you guys would be concerned for me. So if I don't tell you and I quietly do this shit without you guys knowing, and just like, okay, you know what, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, going to do this, without telling anybody, then it's a lot easier, because people care, and they were like, oh, you know, they would just like John Candy was like, why do you keep spending this money? So
how about this? You purchase all the really expensive shit, right? And then you hire professional thieves to come and steal it. So that way you didn't destroy it. You paid millions of dollars. So all those spy movies we see where someone has to steal the diamond.
You're hiring Brad Pitt and George Clooney to come in.
That was
and
Monty
steal
Brewster paying those people. Monty Brewster owned that diamond.
Thomas Crown.
Were there any? Yeah. Were there any stipulations around doing anything illegal?
I don't think there was any illegal stuff, because
The
I got a
betting
kick
was
out.
technically illegal, wasn't it? The sports
No,
betting.
it's not illegal.
Yeah. No, because it was there was something about illegal gambling or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what you could do, Steve, with stealing the art is they steal it, then you buy it back from them, and then you do it again.
after the
You could do this a couple of times.
Yeah.
Doing it
rinse
over
and
and
repeat.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I'm
rent
just gonna put
security guards who are in on the deal.
I was going to put this Picasso over here by this open window, and I'm going to walk over there. If anybody happens to steal it, hey!
I liked him hiring people, like the security guards. I loved that.
Yeah.
At the bank, he's like, "How much you get paid?" He's like, "Well, you work for me now, and you're getting paid crazy amount of money."
Yeah.
And like he did a lot of good for people with that money, which was awesome. I love that bit.
I kind of wish I saw more of that. I was and getting it back into the movie. I think there are some things that I really enjoyed about this movie, and things that I really was kind of disappointed. And I'm pleased to reserve some time about the ending, because I got things about the ending that I have concerns about.
So what did you really enjoy?
First of all, this is a great 80s movie. That 80s feel of them being in Hackensack, that's very 80s town, first of all.
That ball diamond was my favorite.
Yeah.
That's
Just
so
during
cool.
the intro.
Yeah.
Dude. So my brain, I wish I had watched it with someone, because like I played baseball for 20 years, and watching them play in that field, I'm like, oh, I played in a park like that. Like, wait, did that guy almost trip over?
Yeah.
Like train tracks
Yeah.
tracking down that ball?
Yeah.
And then the train rolls through it. That was the funniest thing to me ever, was a train rolling through the game.
I even said to Amy, like, not only tripping over, but can you imagine like you're trying to track down a ball and you dive,
God.
and
Yeah,
then you stop your face with the train track?
Yeah.
God.
I landed on a rock once diving for a ball. Like a big rock. It sucks. So yeah, I could only imagine a train track.
So apparently that ball stadium was a leftover set piece from a very short-lived TV show called Bay City Blues, starring, well, I don't know if she's starring, but she's a cast member, Sharon Stone and Dennis Franz.
Oh,
Dennis
shit.
Franz.
Yeah. So it was about like this ball team or whatever. It was only 8 episodes. And apparently it was recorded in Sun Valley, Steve.
This must have been like Sharon Stone's early years.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah, so nothing was filmed in Hackensack at all. It was a whole,
Is Hackensack a real place?
I think
Oh yeah.
so.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Definitely a real place.
I love it.
But yeah, it had a great 80s feel to it. I mean, just seeing Richard Pryor and John Candy alone was just fun seeing them.
I could watch a whole movie with them just playing baseball. Like John Candy as a catcher, just chirping people was hilarious.
Oh,
Yeah, that was great.
If you do favorite scenes, that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna do
John
favorite
Candy
quote.
behind it.
I got on the favorite quotes for me is that opening
Yeah,
where he's throwing the shit at the guy.
yeah.
Oh,
So
you almost
good.
had that. I bet you feel like a big piece
Piece
of
of
shit.
shit, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah, he was awesome.
I
in
miss John
that role.
Candy every time I see him in a movie, man.
Yeah.
He's so good.
Jamie, what did you dig about this?
What did I like about the movie?
Yeah.
A lot. I love John Candy and Richard Pryor as a duo. I thought they worked really well together. Like, I feel like John Candy's gonna elevate anything that he's in. But yeah, I love their duo, like the comedy duo. And you would think like two big comedians like that, they might almost be like competing, but they worked really well together.
Richard Pryor didn't like John Candy.
Did he
Really?
not?
No,
Oh no.
no. I think the story is that John Candy came to set with Eddie Murphy, and Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy hit it off, but it got out that Richard Pryor just really didn't like John Candy.
Oh, wonder why.
I could be
That's
wrong,
nice.
but I think that's what I remember. Richard Pryor was not a fan of John Candy,
Hmm.
at least when they were making this movie.
3, you've said you've watched this multiple times. What do you dig about it?
Everything about the movie is fun. The concept, the way he goes about it, the interactions, like you say, between the two of the buddies trying to get through life from the beginning we meet them to the end. Yeah, everything, the concept, the way it goes through. I remember loving everything about it and having the same discussion we've been having tonight. Like, how the hell would I spend that much money? I think the other thing would be what you dislike about it, but I'll save that till later.
Alrighty.
But if your question is, does it stand up? Well, what did you think of it now? Because I know we sometimes ask that, but
Mhm.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it this time round too. It kind of stuck there with me. It was fun to watch again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and even though it's an 80s movie, it's not dated like an 80s movie. Right? I mean, of course, there's like the old TVs and stuff like that, but it's not like, I'm sorry, Rob, it's not like Hackers, where it's like, that is a dated movie, right? Because they scream 90s so hard. This doesn't, this feels like a kind of timeless sort of thing. It's a timeless story. And, you know.
How much do you think is that influenced by this being an old story?
Well, I think it stuck to the story. I mean, this what was selling it was the story. I don't think it really mattered where it was set and the time period and anything like that. So that's why it carries better.
That's like you were saying earlier, like it wouldn't work now. Well, it would work now because you just up the price and make it even harder, right? So you can always change the goalposts.
Yeah,
I enjoyed Candy and Pryor, but I felt they didn't have as much chemistry with each other as I thought there was going to be. I had higher expectations. I've seen Richard Pryor do a lot of different movies with a lot of different duos and such. But this one here, it was just like, yeah, they were together a lot of time, but it seemed like Richard Pryor, obviously being the main star of this, he had his own thing, and Candy would pop in and out every once in a while as the movie went on. At first, together they were strong together, but as the movie went on, Candy was more just visiting anything else, and like at the end, he wasn't there at all.
Yeah,
pretty much
nothing at the end.
Yeah, but it was just like they were great together. But I was kind of hoping for a little bit more, but I was getting a good amount at the beginning.
Yeah, I could see that.
Gene Wilder and him work a lot better.
Yeah.
Oh my God, some of the best movies. Have we done? Some of those movies.
No, we have not.
Movie to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 100%.
Maybe I'm gonna have to do a Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor movie.
I found that I can see what you're saying about the chemistry, but at the same time, I could just watch anything with Richard Pryor and his reactions.
Yeah,
just his sort of manic movements and I'm not crazy, but I'm crazy, and like let's do business because we're a business. He's so great at that. I just loved it. Speaking of money and doing it nowadays, I did the math, I did some calculations.
Ooh.
So, well, I didn't do it. The internet calculated it. 300 million in 1985 money, US dollars, is now 897 million, rounding up.
Jeez.
Wow.
And in US money to a Canadian money,
Jeez.
that's 1.1 billion Canadian. But anyway, 897 million. That's,
So you could probably
that's
get a
good.
house in Vancouver then.
You could almost.
Yeah.
I
Holy
think
shit.
we'll have to share it, guys.
The basement would be unfinished.
Yeah.
Next to a rendering plant.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Next to
I'll
the
be
chicken
living in
place.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't know. Do we want to do scenes maybe? Because we're talking about them all. So why don't we just kick it off? 3. What's your favorite scene? And one that sticks out?
Are we just going to keep going around?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we're going to keep going around it. So the scene that I enjoyed was the challenge. When we watched the video, and I enjoyed that scene, just watching it all pan out. That scene alone was just worth it. It was so much fun.
And I loved how they timed the movie with his reactions.
Yeah.
Right? Like they're kind of talking to each other.
Yeah.
That was a great
Rob.
way to film it.
Well, it was just the scene where they're talking. He's talking about his wife at the plate,
Oh god.
and
Yeah.
he's building him up, buttering him up, glazing him up, as the kids say, and it's great. And then he says, "Well, your wife is ugly," or something like that.
I saw your wife the other week. Yeah, I saw her on TV. She's an ugly bitch.
She's an ugly bitch. And then the follow up with the guy is like, "You're not talking to me." And he goes,
Yeah.
He goes, "Yeah, see your wife." Just talking about his wife. Yeah, she's an ugly bitch. And it
Yeah.
smacks it out of there.
Totally.
I'm going to take any of your shit, Tubby.
Yeah.
You're going to get
And
this
then he-
right to the face.
Yeah, totally.
That was
And
Not
then he
my fault he
yards the
can't take
ball
a
out of
joke.
Jamie.
Yeah, I loved the baseball scenes.
Mhm.
My favorite scene was the scene where the friggin' train rolls through the game.
Yeah.
Because I not only just the idea of a train rolling through your outfield in the middle of a game, but then, yeah, John Candy goes out to the mound to talk to Richard Pryor, who's having a good game, and he's about to win the game as a pitcher. And Richard Pryor's his attention is flagging, and he's like, "Man, how do I can't stay like concentrating with this
Don't wanna
friggin'
lose my
train
focus."
rolling through, and the guy in the stands taking my photo." And
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, you know what?
Yeah,
You know what I
no,
loved
yeah.
about that too is when the train's going through it. You see all the other guys in the field. Like one guy's throwing his mitt up in the glove. One guy's kicking the dirt. They're just like bored out of their skulls.
Bunch of
right?
10-year-olds out in the field.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you just picture like hundreds of cars of like grain train,
and it was
going
moving
through.
slow.
It's slow.
It was
So
a big
apparently-
freight train.
In some of my research, that was not uncommon back in the day in like southern towns and stuff where they would share the fields.
But
I guess the train's got the right of way.
What came first, the train or the field?
That's a good
So
point.
it must be the
assume
field. In my mind, it must be
Yeah.
the field because well, I don't know. It's America.
No,
But
I think the train.
No one picks the field to go just a little bit of the train tracks, right?
Yeah.
You know what?
It's
This
a
would
really
be a
good
great
deal
place for
for
a scene.
space.
The road stops here, but if we do it properly, the last bit of the field's going to be over the train tracks. But I like this road, so we need to build it here. Okay, I think they build it, and they say, "Wow, you got to pack it up and move it because we're building a railroad for it." And they're like,
Yeah.
"Nope, just put it through the field."
Yeah, they got the right of way for sure.
I feel that the train track was there first because they're probably baseball was back in the day. They just let's get a field, and the train's not coming a lot, and it'll stop. It'll stop. There's no rules for trains back then. We'll just stop. The train will go by.
It
It's
makes no sense to me.
yeah,
just
but
tilt- just tilt the
space is
field.
limited.
So that the edge of the diamond runs alongside the
Right.
track.
Yeah, no,
Like,
Yeah.
can't do it.
yeah.
Car.
Yeah, totally.
No, but that's where the toilet is. We have to build it this way.
And then later they call back when he's running for mayor,
Hmm.
and the train
Yeah.
goes through, and they
That was
all the people with the
amazing.
placards on the front.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it was like an advertisement for his mayoral run.
Yeah.
Was a train coming through? Love it.
which is a brilliant idea to blow money.
Blow
Going
money.
into
Yeah, it was a very
politics.
good idea.
And
Yeah.
shows you that if you've got the money, people will vote for you.
That's
Yeah,
right.
even
matter
when
what
you
you
tell
say
them
or
not
do.
to.
Yeah. It's not
Straight
about
up telling them,
what
I'm
you
trying to
stand
buy
for.
your
It's about
vote.
how much money you got.
Yeah.
On that happy note, 3, you got another scene?
Yeah, I got quite a few. So I love the scene. Again, it's at the baseball game, but when he calls him up after getting the 30 million and calls the coach up, I love that scene there where he calls him up. He's like, "Oh, Monty's calling me. He's probably in prison, telling me he owes me $200." And he gets on the phone. He says, "I'm not going crazy. I'm gonna rent the team. We're gonna play." He's like, and it's a collect call. He's like, "So tell me, wise guy, if you've just won 30 million, why are you doing a collect call?" He's like, "They only gave me $100 bills. I had to rent a quarter from my accountant to make this call." It was so funny. So funny. I like that scene. He's great as well. I think he might be my favorite, the coach.
Yeah, Jerry Orbach's awesome.
Jerry
I love
Orbach,
him so
yeah.
much. Yeah.
He's got one of my favorite lines, but we'll come back later.
Yeah.
Rob, another scene.
Scene, or we're doing quotes later?
Scene,
Yeah,
yeah.
let's do this another scene. One more round.
Anytime John Candy walked in with that friggin' giant catcher's mask around his neck, that gold catcher's mask, that was brilliant. I love that thing. So, yeah.
Jamie.
Yeah, I just along those very same lines, just the first scene of John Candy walking into the hotel room when he's all blinged up.
Yeah.
And he's just like, he's so happy and he's like dancing up and down the stairs and whistling. Like just watching John Candy do his happy dance made me happy.
Yeah, he goes
That
up
was
the
so much
stairs
fun.
and down
Oh
the
my
stairs.
God. Yeah,
Just
I
reminds
love
me
him.
of Uncle Buck when he's in the kitchen making the pancakes.
Totally.
That's one of my
Exactly.
favorite scenes in any movie ever is when Uncle Buck is making pancakes for the kids.
For me, another one was actually, I think it was like the first day where he's accepting all the like pitches from the crazy inventors and investors and the guy with the iceberg.
Yeah.
And I totally remember this as a kid because I thought it was so cool how he had this little model iceberg and he took off the thing and put the engines on and then it like puttered around the desk playing that weird little song.
I still couldn't figure out what he was selling.
He was going to float
He's
the
going to bring water. He's
iceberg
going to bring water to the people that didn't have any.
to the farmers in the desert.
Where there are no farmers.
Okay.
Where there are no
Where there are-
farmers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense now. Everything was
Yeah,
so
that was funny
crazy.
as
I was
hell.
just trying to keep track of everything.
Yeah. All right. Let's just jump into
No,
quotes.
let's
Oh,
mention the stamp
okay.
scene. That was the best.
Oh, yes.
The stamp
best way
scene
to
was
spend
such
it.
a good
Stamp
build
scene,
up.
yeah.
Such a good build up. And
Yeah.
then when you've
And
seen the movie, it's not as good. But when you haven't seen the movie, it's brilliant.
Another brilliant move to blow the money,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's where it felt very trading spaces to me.
With the two old men in the office.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
where it felt like it to me.
It felt, I don't know about you guys, but it felt to me like Richard Pryor was a little too smart in this movie. 'Cause he did a lot of really smart things to waste the money in such a way that he would have nothing to show for it.
I can buy that. Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
think that was meant to be though, because they were scouting him and scouting him and scouting him to see. I don't know. I don't know if he was. Maybe it was supposed to be. They thought there was no way he was going to win because he's just a kind of a loser.
Yeah, and that's the story was a little bit muddled for me in that respect. It's like, yeah, is he supposed to be a really smart guy that's just down on his luck, or was he chosen because they think he's a loser?
Well, he wasn't chosen. He was actually the only heir to the family.
Right.
So they didn't choose him like they did in Trading
Right.
Places.
Mhm.
Yeah, but yeah, it didn't detract from the movie at all for me. It was I didn't think lesser of it. It just kind of stuck out to me that he did a lot of really smart things to burn money.
Yeah,
little
because
build-up
we
would
can't
be nice, yeah.
we can't come up with the ideas right now. So
Yeah.
how does a guy who just got kicked out of baseball after a big bar fight come up with all these great ideas how to blow $1 million a day?
Right? Yeah, it seems like, and like there was seemingly no hesitation about him taking the 30 million versus the 1 million. He's like, nope, I'm going for 300. Like he knows what he's going to do. You kind of get the sense that he's got it figured out, or at least he has an idea.
Or is it just? I think it's just I guess the greed of it, right? The risk is worth the reward kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what a great time you have doing it. And if you come back being the same, you come back being the same. You know?
Yeah. It's like that scene from season 2 of Squid Game.
I mean, how about this one? You're saying, how would you blow the money to get you 300 million? What if I mean, was there a stipulation in the clause that if he had still had money at the end, he couldn't own any of the assets he'd retained? Because why didn't you just go out and buy loads of assets and earn more than 300 million on the assets you've got, and say, "Sorry guys, I blew it, and I'm fucking loaded."
Yep.
I mean,
feel like
I can't
that
remember
would've
there being a
broken the
clause.
rules.
I can't remember that though.
Yeah, that's fair. Because that was, I think, Christina had the same idea. She's like, "Well, why wouldn't I just take the 30 million and just do whatever the hell I want with it?" I'm like, well, they
Lose
take it
the
away
bet.
at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I will say the one scene at the end where they're putting a hat around, they're passing the hat.
Yeah.
To try and raise the money for him, and it was so painful because he's still trying to win that 300, and he's sort of being a dick to these people.
it was kind of
Right?
it was a bit of a heartwarming scene though, watching
Yeah.
all these people. Like, he's been so nice to us. Like, we want to do something nice for him, even
Mhm.
though he's clearly hell bent on just pissing all this money away.
Apart from the Ratfink photographer.
Yeah. I love when John Candy takes his whole wallet.
Yeah,
Not just the money in the wallet, just like, there you go.
yeah.
Gives you a little slap on the cheek.
Any other scenes?
I did.
Oh,
I did like
go
the
ahead.
baseball, him checking baseball in the hotel room. I don't know why.
Yes.
That was like, that looks like a lot of fun.
Because that's
So-
awesome. The fact that he has an actual pitcher's mound of dirt brought up and put in this fancy schmancy hotel.
And he's throwing heaters too.
Yeah.
And it's not like really
Yeah.
hard, but it's enough that if he misses, that's going through the window, hitting somebody down the stairs.
It looked like he was throwing pretty hard. Yeah.
Mhm.
I still think that was a stunt double throwing that, not Pryor.
Oh yeah,
So-
Pryor looked pretty awkward when it was
Yes.
clearly him pitching
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
the
very much
mound.
so.
It did not look natural.
Yeah, and I think there was one scene where I think I did clock like a stunt double because I thought that wasn't Pryor, and then it was like a full on heater. Right? Like,
Well, it was the same for Candy when the balls come towards it. He's not behind the mound, but that was a stunt double.
some other big
Yeah.
fat guy.
You can hide his face on that one.
Yeah.
We're one of the umpires.
Yeah.
But what about the flying? Like when the team comes to town, he flies them from the air.
Dude, that was so good.
And she was just trying to figure it all out. That was so good. they
And
were
the coach too.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like, dude, if we took the bus, we would have been here 2 hours ago.
yeah, but they wouldn't let me have a band at the airport, so I had to bring you here
That's
so
right.
you'd have the band, and then we're going to fly you back to the airport.
It's like no matter how much I
was
pay
great.
them, they wouldn't let me let them have a band on the runway.
I did like that this was the time where the Statue of Liberty was under renovation.
Oh yeah, all the scaffolding.
Yeah, and I
That was cool.
remember that because one of my favorite movies is on my list. Remo Williams, The Adventure
God.
Begins. It takes place on the Statue of Liberty while it's being renovated, and I just keep thinking that I remember that time of the '80s where it was under renovation. It was all in the news and stuff. So, sorry, I just had to mention the lady
No.
in renovation.
Well, it's interesting because anytime I watch a movie now in New York, the Twin Towers, right? That's like instantly dates like
Yeah.
Yeah.
when it is, and there's such an iconic feature that's always your establishing shot that you're in New York. It's the Statue of Liberty and the Twin Towers, and maybe Eiffel, not Eiffel,
Like the
Empire
Chrysler
State.
Building or the Empire
Yeah.
State. Yeah.
Yeah, but definitely the Twin Towers, right? So it's automatically kind of dates it a little bit.
I was lucky enough to go up those, you know.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, all the way to the top, and you go to the viewing area, and you go in this little glass window that juts out, and you look down, and you see it
Yeah.
swaying. It was incredible.
Really?
And you go out onto the roof deck, and you can see helicopters and planes coming below you, which is incredibly
That's
Mhm.
cool.
surreal now. Yeah.
yeah.
Ooh.
We were in the Sears Tower in Chicago. They had the same walkout glass box.
Yeah.
It's- holy crap, was that terrifying?
Yeah.
So cool though. Jamie, Rob, any other scenes?
I just had one quote. That's all I had.
All right.
Oh, we haven't done quotes yet.
We're doing scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm telling you. I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
James.
So that's a no.
Yeah.
Who's the barber here? Jamie.
Yeah. I did really like the scene where he flies the baseball team out to out to the island where Statue of Liberty is.
Hang on a minute. I just had that one.
I know. Yeah, that was. I'm just calling it out. It was on my list too.
Mhm.
It's a scene though. Yeah, I
Not a
don't.
quote.
No, it's not a quote. It
Not a
is
quote.
an actual scene that
Yeah.
Steve asked us for.
One of mine that wasn't that scene was right at the beginning when he first gets the money and he just instantly starts hiring people and firing things off, and he comes out and he says to like Spike, he's like, I'm not crazy. You're gonna think I'm crazy, but I'm gonna be crazy. We're gonna have some fun. And then just like starts going nuts with the money right off the bat, hiring the security guards and the limo driver and all that stuff. And just Pryor in that whole manic state was awesome.
Pryor manic is good. Like that one scene where he was getting off, where everybody's getting off the helicopter.
When he flies them to the area. For the band.
No, when
That was such a
he
great
flies
scene.
all the teammates on the helicopter. For the
And
game.
they flew him
that
back?
scene.
Did we
I'm
mention that?
surprised
That's
no
a
one
good
mentioned
scene.
that.
That's a
I'm
good
surprised
scene.
no one
Yeah.
mentioned that scene. It was so good.
That one was on my list.
All right. Time's ticking away here. So let's jump into favorite quotes that don't involve them flying in from the airport.
I really hope Rob's one quote is from that
Should
scene.
we save that till last?
No, it
In
isn't.
case we
Rob,
forget it.
you
It is
have
not,
the
it is not.
opportunity.
We'll
to
save
do
that
the
to last.
I
funniest
couldn't
thing.
even get the crazy. I couldn't give the ugly bitch quote proper, so I'm definitely not that one. So
Okay, we'll start with 3.
I don't know the full quote because it was too much to write down, but the whole spiel at the bar when they meet the girls after the first game,
Oh,
they
but the
win,
massages.
and he's talking about the massagist.
Yeah.
As we had a copy of the medical journal that was left in the locker room, and it was all about massagists, and some massagists think it's better to be naked, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we should all be naked. Let's all be naked." It was just like 2 little kids at the bar that met a girl for the first time. It was so funny. But a massagist, I like the massagist.
That was great delivery from John
Yeah.
Candy in that scene. I loved it.
I was so
All right.
frustrated with those two. I mean, not with the Candy and Pryor, but the girls they were picking up. Like they knew.
You were frustrated?
I was frustrated because it's just like
They got some free drinks, Rob.
but they were willing to go check out the free massages or check out the naked massages, knowing goddamn well that it was just.
It was in the medical journal. It's
well,
medical.
that's a good point.
Science.
That's
They're
a
doing
good
it for
point.
science, yeah.
It is science. It is science, and they seemed like very scientifically minded people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
good
I mean,
point.
back in the 80s, checking out how to do a proper naked massage in the back of a truck that doesn't have a TV, is definitely the way that it was.
Back in the day.
Whilst grabbing the half-empty bottles of beer that's still on the bar because you can finish them in the van.
And avoiding the train coming at you. So
Jamie.
You're not gonna believe this. My favorite quote is, "If we had taken the bus, we would have been here 2 hours ago."
oh my god.
Get fucking ready. No, hands down, that was my favorite quote in the movie.
Oh my
That had me
god,
rolling.
that's too funny.
All right, Rob. What is your one and
No,
only
What is
quote?
this quote? Give us
It
the
was-
quote.
I just
It better
found it
be a good one. after
Drum
all the
roll,
build-up, Rob.
please.
sure.
Yeah.
Now you guys have built it up.
Love it.
I just
Yeah.
found it funny. It was when they were in jail, and Candy's trying to calm Pryor down. And he just says, "I don't think it's racial because I'm in here with you." And it was just the way he delivered it. He was just it was just John Candy's, like he was talking in the back of that U-Haul when they in Home Alone. It was just very casual. It's not racial. I'm in here with you. And for some reason, I just found that so funny because it's just, that's it. I mean, it's not a big quote, but it was for me funny.
It's a gooder. I had that on my list.
Yeah.
For me, one, and this will go back to your baseball roots, Jamie, where the manager, Jerry Orbach, says, "You're not a farmer. You don't have to swing at shit in the dirt." He's yelling at the guy.
That was great.
Him
That one
getting
got me
angry on
too.
the phone. That was so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, "You're not a farmer" was a great line. Yeah.
Well, I think it's also because we don't see Jerry Orbach like that, right? He's the dad in Dirty Dancing. He's the wise cracking cop on LA Law, right?
He's the
We don't see him-
chandelier in Beauty and the Beast, and he's in Be my guest. Be my
All right,
guest.
Rob.
Is that him? I never knew that.
Yeah, that was him, Jerry Orbach.
Wow. He's Luminaire.
Luminaire.
Wow.
Lumiere.
Lumiere.
That's,
Yeah.
He's that's not a chandelier.
No,
Oh, it was
candle-
candelabra,
candlestick.
wasn't it? Well, I said chandelier, but you know what I was talking about, the candle thing.
No, I didn't.
No? All right, well,
My favorite scene with the chandelier.
The chandelier.
there was a chandelier in Beauty and the Beast, by the way. It was a big
I'm
giant
sure
thing.
there was a chandelier. That's
But
not what
he was the,
Lumiere is.
Yeah, no, he was the candle thing. I apologize.
The
The
candle.
guy who
thing.
worked for Disney
The
Store for
candle
like 3
thing.
plus years.
That sounds like one of those knockoff toys you find at the garage, right?
Yeah,
The
the
candle
dollar
thing.
store.
It's just like it's
On
got like
Temu.
four candles on it.
Yeah. Yeah, this is Luminaire. It's different legally.
Yeah.
3. You got another quote?
Yeah, when they're in the court and they're up against the judge, and they're like, "You see, we met these two young ladies, and we didn't know that they had." And she goes off on him, and John Candy just did his little jiggle laugh and says, "If you don't make the calls, you can't make the sales." And Richard Pryor just goes instantly, "This man does not represent me, Your Honor." And he's like, "Strike that from the books, probably."
Yeah.
But he was so into it. He was just like, if you don't make the calls, you can't make the
Yeah.
sales.
Yeah.
Oh, my
John
God.
Candy as his best lawyer impression in that scene was great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he just comes in laughing at everying she says. Yeah, how
You're
do you
never
think?
going to believe this, right?
Guilty, but for a really good reason.
Yeah. Well, that was one of my other ones. Guilty,
You can
but for
say it
a
again.
really good
Ask
reason.
Steve. Ask Jamie one of his favorite quotes.
Yeah, ask me. Me next.
Hey, Jamie, what's your favorite quote?
Guilty, but for a really good reason.
That's not from
To
the
be fair, I did do
helicopter
2
scene.
quotes, but it was
Yeah,
the same
yeah.
thing.
No, that's fair. That scene is so great, though. John
Yeah.
Candy is so freaking likable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like he's just one of those guys that could talk to anybody, and you would instantly like
But
him.
the funny thing with this movie, though, is you're right, 100%, obviously. But I still feel that with this movie, you're kind of rooting for Pryor, and you're rooting for him to do this because everyone thinks he can't. So every time, halfway through the movie now, every time Candy comes back in with another bunch of money, you're like, "Oh God, just get out!" Like,
Yeah.
as funny as it is, you kind of don't want him
Yeah.
to be there, which is
Mhm.
kind of weird. But
Yeah.
you're rooting for Pryor so much.
Well, he's
also like-
he's not helping
Yeah.
the cause.
And how he raised that $10 million was from selling his iceberg shares.
Yeah. No, the iceberg shares made money as it was. Because they cut to him sat on the couch looking at the iceberg, and then the news person was saying that the oil industry had bought the iceberg company. Oh,
Yeah.
it's so funny.
Rob, you got another quote?
No, but
Okay, cool.
the French word for candle is chandelle. Just wanted to. It's like
Did you just
chandelier.
More you
like
know.
I was double checking because I knew something was bugging me about the chandelier thing, and I was like, "Why did I call it chandelier?" Because it was fun.
Because you're
That's-
French.
No,
Get off
no,
the show. Get off
no,
the
it had
show.
to do. It had to do
French
with
Canadian, because of the French
my
Canadian.
brain.
Get out of
I'm
here.
sorry, my brain would not let it go. I apologize. It would not let that son of a bitch go, and I was like literally typing that out. So
That's funny.
Did anyone, unless this is one of Steve, do you have any interesting facts or not? If you do, I'm going to shut up.
I got a few, but they're not a ton. So lay it on me, whatever you got.
So, I like to make my notes through the movie. I didn't have a lot of notes apart from quotes, and usually I'm terrible, right? But I had a lot of quotes in this one. But did you notice the reporter when he was doing his first speech?
Yeah.
Did you see who that was?
Yeah. Lynn Shay.
Yeah.
who's Lin
Yeah.
Shay?
Remember
Lin
Kingpin?
Shay
The landlady at Kingpin?
Yep.
and Magda in Something
And
About
Something
Mary.
About Mary?
And
Yeah.
she's known now. She's also known for all was it Insidious, the horror movie?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep. That's
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
her
Landlady.
best name
Spotted her
nowadays.
immediately. When
You
she
got
was
her
younger,
red
she looked a
payment?
lot like Carrie Fisher, actually. That's
I
kind of
could
what
kinda
hit me
see
at
that.
first.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
is that Carrie Fisher? No. Oh, it's the landlady from Kingpin.
oh, you're right. Look at that.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the funny
Uh,
thing is, the last movie we did, everyone remember the last movie we did?
Vaguely.
Something about a
Those
Gibson.
hackers.
Something about a Gibson.
Yeah.
They one of the press
People.
people in that was Rico Ross from Aliens, and I forgot to mention
was
that in
it?
the show. Yeah.
No shit.
The second time you see them being interviewed.
Do you want me
He's
to
trying to
change
stop-
your rating of the movie?
What?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I think I went fair.
Yeah,
There's
you were very fair.
there's another deep cut actor. I don't know if you caught him. He was the commentator when they were doing the ball game.
I had a
he
feeling
looked
they
familiar
were
with the
famous. They
guy
were
with the teeth and the big eyes.
Yeah. The teeth and the big eyes.
The teeth and
But
the
you know what I mean?
eyes.
They were who
look
was
like
that?
look
I
like
was
a
like, I
mule.
kind of
He-
recognize that guy, but
He played Poppy on Seinfeld. He was the
Oh,
one who he
did you hear
owned
the crickets jump in?
he owned a restaurant and he accidentally peed on his couch. There's a whole episode about that and hand washing and
Wow.
everything. But that's where I clocked him from. I was like, oh, it's Poppy. So
He
nobody,
had a good sports color commentary voice.
yeah,
Yeah, they
totally.
definitely. That's why I thought they were actual commentators, the way they were
Mhm.
presenting themselves.
I'm actually
So-
surprised they didn't get like Bob Eubanks or some other like
Bob Euchre. That would
Euchre.
be
Bob
amazing.
Euchre, yeah.
The other
Oh,
question
okay.
mark I had, and I don't know if you guys will know this one, but I can't picture it. That oh no, I've done it again. The guy who not the pitcher, the batter that came in, whose wife he was hitting on.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
He's one of the FBI agents from Die Hard.
Die Hard. Okay, I was like,
Yeah.
where? I was like,
was
where?
it
And this
Jones
is-
and Jones, no relation?
Yeah, no relation. Yeah.
That's
Okay,
Yeah.
funny.
I was like, where do I know him from?
Just like Saigon. I was in high school, dickhead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
my question mark. Like, who's the batter?
He's the FBI guy from Die Hard, 100%.
Totally.
I want
No.
to talk about the ending, if
All right.
if it's okay, because I had a
The
problem with the
end.
ending. I don't know if anybody else did. How it just ended,
Well-
like it just dead. Hey, we got it. We got the million. Rolled credits. I was expecting something else. I was expecting, actually telling Candy about what had happened or what was going, just maybe just some sort of, it hit climax and then stopped.
Yeah.
And I just felt this could have had a better finish to it. Either you tail it off, and what's he doing now with his 300 million? And you can see, even if he's sitting on the goddamn beach and just enjoying the life, and there's John Candy, in a Speedo with the baseball glove around his, or his baseball mask around his neck or something.
Yeah.
Maybe that is his speedo.
Or he does.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Whatever helps.
just the chain. Yeah.
Or even if he didn't win the 30 million, but finds out that his buddies in the end have been saving so much money, and John Candy's little thing had money that he had spent on himself. He was able to raise enough money to protect him or something like that, and keep him in a life that's happy. It just felt like it just ended, and there was no payoff to it except for the fact he got the money, and and the bad guys go to jail.
I wanted Monty Brewster to be mayor. I wanted him to win the election.
Yeah.
It was like, it seemed like he would have been a good mayor. Like, he was a genuinely good dude.
But he pulled out of the mayoralship, didn't
Because
he?
he had to.
Yeah, he would have been a job.
Because he would have won, and then he would have been paid
would have had a salary.
$60,000.
Yeah.
Three,
But that
do you have
speech
any?
he did
That would have
about
been good.
that speech he did about the politicians was bang on. It was so
Yeah, it
brilliant.
was awesome. It was
Yeah,
so
totally.
good.
Do
Yeah.
you have any issues with the ending 3? Scott?
Sorry.
Yeah.
You got me right. You
I
got
know.
me right as I was
I wasn't
taking
looking
a
at the
swig.
screen. I'm sorry. Scotch down
Yeah.
in my belly.
We catch you at a bad time, Steve.
No, that was a
little bit of-
great time.
Little bit of ASMR for Jamie there,
Yeah.
slurping on, choking on a hot whiskey. I agree. I think it's an unglamorous ending, but I thought exactly the same as you, Rob. It's like, man, but then I thought about it and I thought to myself, well, we have just watched a whole movie about what you can do with money, and I don't think there's anything left to be said. If you can see what and be told what you can do by the accountant with all this money, and you know that Monty wants to do right by the money, I don't think we need to see it. I think it's almost like enough said. He's got 300 of these millions now instead of 30. I think he's going to be okay. And so is everyone that he cares about. And I don't know if we need to physically see that. I think in our mind, we already know that story, you know? And I think maybe that was a artistic direction.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think in some ways I thought it did feel too abrupt, but then same reason I think, because like you were saying, 3, that early on we're all sort of rooting for him, right? So we know that he did it. That's all we need to know. He won, right? He got the 300,000.
Right.
I do like. I mean, maybe if it was something really short and really subtle, like Rob was saying, maybe you see him on a beach with John Candy and there's hanging out, right? Just something real short like that. You can't have another scene, like another fourth act, where he's explaining to Spike and he's explaining to everybody and all.
But here's what I would have done. If we all have a go at how we would have ended it, here's what I would have done. He would have opened up the doors. Spike would have been sat there, and he would have got up, and they're walking away, and the credits rolling, and you just see Pryor lean into him and whisper in his ear something, and he's just like, and that's
good.
Yeah,
you know?
Or John Candy screaming in his John Candy way, 300 million.
Yeah,
and
then
how much?
I love that.
Cut to credits.
Yeah,
you know? That could be
100. Yeah,
just something really
really
short
good.
like that.
I like it.
All right, all green light.
Let's remake it. Let's get all of our.
It's been remade like 13 times already.
All of our donated money from all our followers, and we're going to remake this movie.
Yeah.
I did Trading Spaces. Did that end with them like where they're kind of like toasting each other on a boat or something like that? How did that one end?
Maybe we'll have to do that one next because I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
I just remember.
I remember that having
Curtis was in it.
Having a nice quick little ending, and they were all toasting each other on a boat or something, and then you see like I just remember I was thinking about that when this ended. So
before we get into our ratings, I did
I wanted to do my ending.
Oh, sorry, James.
Everybody dies in Jamie's ending.
No way, man.
They fly this helicopter.
My dream ending. Yeah. We just fly back and forth in a helicopter, and the baseball manager complains that it would have been quicker on a bus. No, my ending would be that he loses the bet, but he gets elected mayor, and he's actually a good mayor for the city, and it just fades out with him being a good dude and doing right by the city.
Yeah,
making his $60K a year.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Spike's running around in the background with his
the catcher's mitt over his junk and nothing.
Yeah, he's like the president's assistant in Mars Attacks.
Yeah,
rolling around in limos and picking up ladies.
Yeah. This movie had that hint that there was some real heart behind it, and that's kind of the way I thought it was going. Was he was going to win the race but lose the bet?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I could kind of see that. So yeah, before we get to our ratings now, I did dig up some other reviews and ratings from back in the day, and this was not well received.
No, I could tell by the amount of
Cisco
money.
and Eber both gave it 2 thumbs down.
Oh,
it's got a 39 on Rotten Tomatoes. I actually found this is what I kind of found. I found the original New York Times and LA Times reviews from back in the day because they got them all digitized online. So you can read them. Yeah. New York Times, it's a screwball comedy minus the screws.
What does that even mean?
Yeah, I think it's not funny.
It's for the
ball
paper.
Comedy?
Yeah. The
comedy.
LA Times said Brewster's Millions isn't bad so much as flat, and flat comedy has about the appeal of flat champagne.
I can see that though, honestly. As much as I love the movie, I can see that, especially watching it now and grumpy old man eyes. It is a little. It's not polished in any way. You've got some amazing people doing some amazing stuff and really portraying it well, but it is. I agree, even to the point that the music at the beginning was flat. It was just uninspiring and not sparkly at all.
This one was, I think, stung the most. As Variety said, it's hard to believe a comedy starring Richard Pryor and John Candy is no funnier than this one. So
it's fair.
Yeah. That being said, who cares about critics?
Yeah.
Do we want to do favorite character?
That, by the way, that segue is lovely.
Oh, there goes my segue. Why don't we go to our favorite character?
Oh, God.
Steve the Segway Killer.
This is the equivalent to getting on the helicopter to.
Well, we
get
got to do a
this
favorite
place,
character.
to go
right?
back to the original
We have
place.
to do a favorite character.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Because we have to, I'll let you go first.
My favorite character was Chuck Fleming, Action News.
What?
I really enjoyed it when Chuck
All
Fleming,
right.
because they were so
Popped up
excited.
a lot.
John Candy was so excited to see Chuck
No,
Fleming in the
that was
beginning that
funny.
every
Yeah.
time I saw
It was a
him,
great
I was
scene.
excited. And to be honest, because of the comment we made about everything being flat, it didn't really. They were all so good in some respect that the characters they portrayed I enjoyed a lot. But I think the one I'm always going to remember is Chuck Fleming, Action News. He was
Well,
right
tell-
there to the end.
Tell me that Anchorman's not sort of copying, parodying that, right? Because he's that
Oh,
total.
yeah. Or just the 80s.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Rob, what's your favorite
Who's your favorite
character?
character?
Richard Pryor's character was my favorite. There
Yeah.
wasn't really a lot of characters I like. I did dig, for some reason, Marilyn, the interior designer, just because at the very end, she's done all this goddamn work. And she's like, what do you think? And he's like, I could die in here. Oh, thank God. All right, take it away. And it was just, I was actually very happy for her in the end, because she did the job that she wanted to do, despite her ass hat of an ex-husband, and job well done. Let's take it out of here. I kind of like that. So she's not a loser.
Jamie, lay it on us. Who's your favorite character?
I mean, I feel like calling Spike is a cop out, just because I love.
Well,
John
not if it was
Candy
your favorite
and everything.
character.
I love him so much, but like, yeah, if it's not John Candy, it's the security guard, the first guy that he
He's a good
hires.
guy. He's a good guy.
I loved him every time he popped up. I don't know. It was just he was great. And him, walking around with the hat collecting money from people. Like that was awesome. It was a good feel good moment.
Well, I am going to cop out, and Spike was my favorite character.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And it
So
wasn't.
good,
it
man.
wasn't just because of John Candy, but I think it was how John Candy was like, again, the man child, right? Especially
Yeah.
when he gets interviewed on the news for the first time after Monty makes him his like
Oh, are we
executive
live?
VP.
Yeah.
He's like, "What? Me? We're live? This thing's on!" And he's
Yeah.
like, it'd be like a 10-year-old on TV,
Yeah.
right? And then when he finds out, he goes, "All you people thought I was losers." But
Well,
he-
isn't it the
it's
same
that-
character as the one from last week though? With the what's his name? With
Serial killer?
yeah,
Captain Crunch?
Yeah.
is it the
Oh,
same
no.
kind of air
No.
as that?
I could see
No.
that. Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. Feel kind of like God, man. Yeah.
Back
I-
comparing Spike Nolan and serial killer.
I'm surprised nobody's chosen Rick Moranis' character as their favorite.
It was
Awful.
it was quick and annoying.
Brutal.
So.
Yeah.
Jerry Orbach's character was
Well,
good though.
my backup actually was the photographer,
Oh, I hate
Really?
it. Yeah.
because he was such a
He
little
was
prick and
funny.
he's so good at it and he's
Yeah,
funny.
he
And
was-
him and Candy had a really good back and forth. They had this good little interactions. So I thought he was pretty funny.
Wasn't he in the Warriors?
Probably.
I've
think
seen
so.
him in something. He looked really familiar.
Yeah.
He was in the Warriors. I'm just looking at it now. Hang on.
He was in the Warriors. He can't have been one of the Warriors. If anything, he was one of the. I don't know. He just doesn't seem like a warrior.
He's one of the
He's an
guys dressed like the
American
baseball
character.
players.
American character actor, best known for playing Corpsey of the Rogues in Wolf Hill's cult classic, The Warriors.
He was who?
Cropsey.
Cropsey. Now I gotta figure this out.
He's got a little hat on, twisted to the side. Looks like one of the Ramones.
I'll look for this. You. Keep
All
it.
right. So yes, while we're researching the internet on radio, let's jump to the ratings. Unless I missed something else, Steve.
Oh, interesting.
Let's jump to the ratings. Unless I missed something else, Steve. 'Cause I think we're pretty much.
Oh, interesting. 'Cause I think we're pretty much. 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 'Cause I think we're pretty much
Rob, you found something?
Yeah, he's the sidekick to the main baddie. That does not look like him, but I can yeah, he looks like one of the Ramones. He was the sidekick to the bottle guy.
Okay, so what I want
Really?
you to do is when you edit this and put it up on the YouTubes, you got to cut in the side-by-side pictures of the warrior
Yeah.
guy and the.
Editing.
Oh wait, was he? Does anybody still have his IMDb page up? Was he in Naked Gun, the first
Ooh.
Naked Gun movie? Is he the guy that's being bribed for information?
Now we got to
Survey
find out.
says
He was in Fart the movie in 1991, The Warriors,
Fart.
Quicksilver, Congo, Another 48 Hours, Brewster's
Well-
Millions, The Meteor Man. Yeah, I don't see it.
so.
Damn it.
48 Hours. There's your Walter Hill director
Yeah.
connection, right?
Yeah.
As well as Warriors.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, I only saw Warriors for the first time ever like a month or two ago.
The Warriors?
Fart the movie. Maybe
Yeah?
someone should. I would say
Fart
someone pick
the
Fart the
movie.
movie.
Yeah,
But
Well, what
who's-
year is
who's
Fart
up
the
next?
movie? Is it in the?
it's 91, so he can't.
Oh, just gets in there. No.
Yeah.
Okay, let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
Okay.
As much as watching you guys Google things,
Just
let's
Why
rate
is-
this.
Why is
Let's rate
Eugene
this.
Levy showing up in the cast list?
Hang on.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
no,
I
no.
apologize.
Oh, here we go.
No.
Steve
Yeah.
3.
Here we go.
Who did you say the photographer was?
Joel
Proxy?
Wise.
Joe
Joel Wise. Paparazzo. Paparazzo. That's his name, right?
Joe Grafisi, right? The photographer working for Granville and Baxter. He was not in the
Yes.
Warriors.
Oh, maybe I just saw it. I just saw paparazzi.
He was
I
in
thought that was him.
Splash, but not in the Warriors.
Oh.
Mhm.
And then what movie you think he was in, Jamie?
Naked Gun.
Okay, I don't see him in Naked Gun either.
So who's paparazzo? Paparazzo.
That
He's
is-
probably the second guy that came in to take a photo, and the first guy was punching him out because hey, he just hired me. I'm his personal photographer.
Hmm.
That would make more sense. So sorry, I did not mean to derail.
I don't see the other dude.
Do
don't
I
see
edit
the
that,
other
or
dude.
Nah, leave it in.
You
All of it. All of it.
Okay, this is it. We're rating this goddamn movie. Jamie, what are you rating this?
Oh. I feel like I gotta give it a 6.5 out of 10. I liked it. I had a bunch of fun, but yeah, the story was a little bit muddled. Yeah, it was a fun movie. I would watch it again.
All right, Rob.
I agree completely with Jamie. 6.5, and for exact same reasons. Yeah, it seemed like it had a really great story. The story itself is like an 8, but the movie itself 6 and 5. 6
Yeah,
and a
the
half.
setup is really interesting.
Yeah, it got us
It's gotta
talking.
it's got to be good if they've remade it that many times.
Yeah,
Or someone's just trying to do it right for once.
Yeah. All right, 6.5, 6.5, 3.
See, I agree with what these guys said. 6.5 was in my head, but I would give it a 7 if, and this is going out to the interwebs, if from now on, when you make movies, however you make movies out there in the world, if we have an anonymous donor who's funded something that no one can figure out, I want it to be Monty Brewster. And instead of seeing Wayland Yutani over shit, right,
Mhm.
we want to see Monty Brewster.
Oh
and
my
then you'll
God,
know
that is
it's
so
because of his
good.
billions.
Yeah.
Brewster's Industries or something.
Just his
Yeah.
legacy of just
Yeah.
spending money like crazy has just
Yeah.
spider webbed out.
No, I
In the
think
world.
I've always liked this movie. I think 6.5 is a good one. I think giving it a 7 might be pushing it. Let's just let's do an all round 6.5.
all right.
This, ladies and gentlemen, 6.5 across the board.
Wow,
I had 6.5 down as
Wow.
well.
we came close to that in Batteries Not. First time we've done this. Batteries Not
This
Included
is-
was a very close one, but this is
6.5, 6.5, 6.5, 6.5, 2
I don't
from
need
the
a
Russian
calculator
judge.
for this one.
I don't even what's 6.5 times 4 and then divided by 4.
6.5.
You must be a math teacher.
I know.
I don't
Yeah,
know if
no,
we've ever been so
I-
united.
Yeah, I agree with everything. The same thing.
I'm literally looking in the past to see if we have agreed on anything, and I think this is the
I-
first time.
I
Yeah.
feel like our scores are usually a lot more
Is
varied.
this like the
Mhm.
planets aligning?
Yes, very
think
much
so.
so.
Wait,
Yeah.
is this like the fact that we all agree with Rob on a movie?
I think it's the fact that Rob agrees with us. on the
Catching
movie.
Yeah,
All right.
Crazy.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
Not
no.
Rob's movie.
Okay, well,
right.
we did all agree on Blues Brothers. Steve wasn't there though, so
Oh,
yeah,
dang
we all
it.
gave Blue Brothers a 9.
Yeah, Blues Brothers is awesome.
I love that movie.
But with Steve here, first time we've agreed on anything. So
Well,
So Steve is
well.
the X factor
yeah, it's
there.
just taking the
Yeah.
heat off of me and popping it on back onto Steve.
On 3, you mean?
Sure, you're
I'm
Which one you're
still
talking
gonna,
about? You're
I'm
just
still
saying
standing
Steve.
by the fact that Joe Weiss was the guy who was the photographer, man.
And I want to talk about that scene by the Statue of Liberty.
But
we haven't talked about that yet. We got to talk about
Yeah.
that.
What? No, we're ending this.
Robin ends. HoseNose. Let's go.
I want to know first of all who is next up for
Oh,
choosing
who is
movies.
next?
That would be who's
So 3 or
orange?
me?
Orange is Jamie.
Oh,
Oh
shit.
no!
Oh,
All right,
man.
James.
It's gonna do
We are
something to
doing
do with this.
Here comes-
1991's Bart the movie. We are not. We're not doing that.
I was
Oh.
literally
That sounds like a movie out of Idiocracy.
right,
It's
What
not
are
a
we
movie
doing?
anymore.
thank God.
Yeah. No. What
Don't
are we doing?
remind me. I'm gonna go with my gut on this one. It's been on my list for a while. It's summer. I'm in a baseball kind of mood. I want to watch a Richard Pryor and John Candy movie about baseball. And honestly, like the closest we're gonna get to the baseball scenes in Brewster's Millions, I think, is the first Major League.
Yes.
Ooh.
Is that Tom Hanks?
No, that's a
Oh,
League of Their
wow.
Own. Also
Okay.
good. No, this is Charlie Sheen, Bob Euchre, Corbin Burnson, Dennis Haysbert, Wesley Snipes is in it. Yeah,
Yes.
the
This
cast
is
is
about
pretty
this is
nuts.
about Wild Thing, right?
Yes,
Yep.
this is
Yeah,
Wild
okay.
Thing.
I think I've seen
Yeah.
this many moons ago.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah,
Cool.
Wild Thing and Pedro Serrano, the voodoo.
Yes. Oh, this is gonna be good.
F you, Joe Boo.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
let's save that for next week.
I'm so excited now.
I thank you guys for watching this classic. I don't know. Anyway, this is a good movie. Seems like we all
I mean,
enjoyed
it
it.
makes me want to watch other Richard Pryor.
Totally.
things.
It
Yes.
does. Yeah.
I want to watch his stand up, and I want to watch. Yeah, what was the one? with
Okay,
Shane
I
Mothers?
will.
You know,
I will.
you've
My
always
next.
known
My
him?
movie's next, right?
Is it? Yeah, I think so.
After me?
After Jamie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will definitely be picking one off my list to grant your wishes.
Fart. Movie.
It's a stir crazy. Or don't tell us. Don't tell us. Don't tell us.
Okay.
Mm.
On that note, the fart note, where can we find you, Steve 3?
You can find me, excellent segue, on the Instagram under Shitspackle Muppet Fart. You can also find me at Steve3D on Instagram. And you might be able to find me at the weekends unboxing some micro galaxies if the passion is there. But look on the DL44 network, or if you've already subscribed, wait for the alarm to come in and come and join me for a coffee and a chill.
I am subscribed, and I'm calling it right now, Steve. I am your biggest fan. I love that show. I'm there every day.
Steve 3D fan club run by
Yeah,
Jamie Moore.
100%, man. Yeah. Where's your like paid subscription with the little like badge or whatever when I comment?
That's it. Yeah. Yeah, that ain't happening. You gotta get more than 15 likes to get that sort of thing. But you're
No, it's dude, it's
feel free
great
to
content.
drop into my
Love it.
DMs and suggest the next thing you
I
want
will
to see.
slide right into your DMs. I don't need your permission. Yeah, dude, it's so much fun though watching you unbox stuff. It's awesome.
That's cool.
Cheers, man.
Speaking of subscribing and liking, Jamie, where can we find you?
Oh, why did you point to me? I don't have subscribers or likes.
I don't know about that. You're kind of
wait.
one of the biggest pulls on the YouTubes right now.
Well,
Your face is on a
yeah,
t-shirt.
not
You're
the,
on Reddit at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah, on Pinterest.
No, Pinterest.
I'm on-
Sorry, it's Pinterest.
Although you
But
might want to
that's
change that
not
design.
the Ghostbuster stuff. That's not the Ghostbuster stuff.
That
That's me
design's
putting
up
my
for
clothes on.
interpretations.
Yeah.
If you want to see me take my clothes off, check out OnlyFans. No, you can find me on YouTube on the ongoing YouTube series on the Generation X podcast YouTube channel called Ready to Believe. I'm just piling through because my train of thought is just fucking gone. With zero scotch, might I add, Steve. God, I wish I joined you now.
Can you not smell it?
Oh, I almost can, man.
I'm just thinking about
Almost
Jamie's
can.
OnlyFans right now. I'm looking at the little logo up next to his head.
I know.
You
I
got-
just realized it's been up
We got
there
the Ready
all-
to Believe up there. And all I can think of is Jamie's OnlyFans would be no goggles, just a blindfold. It says ready to receive. Put the logo back up so you can see what
Well,
I got. Look at that. Ready to receive.
Steve, I'm calling it right now. If I ever get desperate for money and OnlyFans happens, I'm calling it Ready to Receive. I'm calling that right
Done.
now. Yeah,
Done.
I'll have to go and save the
It's your
URL.
first movie.
I guess.
First movie
Yeah.
edited by Rob.
Oh, boy.
Oh god, you have to have Brewster's Million to pay me to do that one.
But yeah, we actually do have some new Ghostbusters related content. We just dropped a new video talking about the Hasbro reveals at the Firehouse on Ghostbusters Day, and we
And
have
you bought
some.
another pack. Maybe.
Oh
She
yeah,
can
I
hear
did.
you.
I
She can
definitely
hear you.
did. And it doesn't matter. No, I'm excited, so I bought another pack. So we'll do the inevitable comparisons. Yeah, I'm excited.
And we got Aaron's video as well.
Yeah, we got Aaron's guest spotting in a video coming up, doing some very dangerous things with lithium-ion batteries.
Oof.
Um,
Flying.
Yeah, OnlyFans not applicable to that one. Yeah, and we'll have some more stuff coming up. I know Tools and Talent has some new things happening that
Yeah.
we will definitely be dropping our opinions on.
Good stuff. And Rob,
Outer Rim Rookie, the Outer Rim Rookie show on our YouTube channel. Now that summer's coming up and report cards are going to be done as of tomorrow on this recording, I'm going to be able to focus some more time on working on the attic costume, doing some videos. I have some videos planned for Outer Rim Rookie that I've been wanting to do for quite a while. So summertime is going to give me that chance. So yeah, hopefully people are still watching that, and check it out and like, subscribe, help the channel grow, not just for me, but for Jamie and for everybody here. It'd be really helpful. We're almost at 900. We'll almost say
Hey.
50. So
Nice. Hit
Cool.
that thumbs up.
yeah.
as for me, HoseNose Paints for all your mediocre D&D minifigures on the Instagram.
I love
I
how you
don't know.
sell it.
Is it going down in
Chef's
pitch
kiss.
as he says it?
It's
Yeah, he's like
Going
trailing
me
off.
on HoseNose Paints. and
I haven't painted for a while. I think I've lost my mojo. I gotta get back into it. I don't know.
Scotchy.
Scotch.
Yeah.
Scotch.
Grab a
All right.
scotch, grab a paintbrush.
Liquid inspiration.
Put on your old man binocular glasses.
Binoculars.
This?
No, look at that.
Look at that.
That's a big giant.
That's
I can
awesome.
see your.
Jamie's got
cornea
one of
with
those
that thing.
OnlyFans.
Yeah. You need it. You need it if you want to see anything.
All right. On that amazing note, let's wrap it up. Thanks everybody for watching, listening, watching this fun movie, putting up with our shenanigans. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.